Hi there, I'm Marie Hayden, owner of Bliss Pilates, Hayden Fitness, and Renew You meal plans. I wanted to talk to you about intermittent fasting and the correlation with Hashimoto's. In 2004 and 2005, I had two children, two girls, one in 204, one in 205, and about a couple of years after that, I had extreme fatigue, irritability. I wasn't digesting food, my weight was not coming off post-babies, and I was just really struggling emotionally and wasn't quite sure what was going on. I was later diagnosed with hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's, and it's from there been quite the journey. I've worked with a couple of different naturopaths over the years and currently work with Dr. Kristen Reed at Paradigm Naturopathic in Vernon, British Columbia, and I'm feeling like so much better than I did years previous. I'd have to say it's an up and down journey where sometimes you feel like you're doing the same thing and the supplements that you're taking are working, and then one day you're doing the same thing and they don't work. So it's definitely an interesting journey. So in the last couple of weeks, starting March 13th, I decided that I would do intermittent fasting. My husband is doing intermittent fasting starting in February, and he's seeing results, and I was interested in the immune component as well as how it relates to Hashimoto's, because there's a lot of talk about how Hashimoto's and intermittent fasting should not mix. So the 13th to the 14th the 12th, 13th, and 14th were the days that I chose to fast. I was aiming for 4 to 8 hours. And let me tell you, by 36 hours, I was feeling really unusual. I woke up in the morning on Saturday and my heart was racing like crazy. So I just happened to have my blood pressure cuff beside my bed. So I reached over, grabbed it, placed it on. I did 3 different reads. My heart rate was sitting at 90 beats. I'm kind of a fit gal, so that was a bit of a shocker because usually I'm sitting in the 60s. My blood pressure, however, was extremely low. I want to say rough and dirty 74 over 44, really low. Now, I do have typically low blood pressure, but that was pretty low. With this high heart rate, it was very bizarre. So I thought, okay, apparently I should be eating because this whole thing is wrong. And no, I shouldn't be doing this. I don't even know why I delved into it. And I started really kind of harping on myself why I would even try to do something like this. So I went and I ate and I felt great. And over the course of the upcoming weeks would be a time where we would close our business because of COVID, and we started working out regularly. We adopted a 5K walk route that we do every morning, and my husband was continuing with his intermittent fasting, and he was doing great, and he was listening to a lot of different professionals on the subject, and every time he got excited, he would send me these videos for me to watch. So needless to say, I got intrigued, and especially when they started to talk about Hashimoto's, because again, I was exploring and finding people saying, no, you shouldn't do this. It's not really good for you. And I wanted to then figure out why. The reason why I originally did a fast was because I was interested in the results on immune systems. I'm fascinated by the immune system, and I was really intrigued on how it would relate to going into the COVID scenario. And so after that time, I probably waited another week or so before I started saying, okay, well, maybe I'll try this whole 12 hours. That's easy enough. Now, I'm typically somebody who eats what I want when I want, and I'm a pretty healthy eater. I'm gluten-free, I'm soy-free, I'm dairy-free, I'm egg-free. I don't have beef in my diet. I very rarely eat meat, so I kind of almost live a bit of a vegan lifestyle. My grains that I eat in my life are also pretty sparse because digestively it doesn't always work out well for me. And the reason why I don't eat beef is it doesn't work well for me either. I do enjoy some lamb once in a while, let me tell you. Anyhow, from this, I thought, well, what's 12 hours? That's not a big deal. So that was easy to do. 12 hours not to eat, 12 hours to have an eating window. That was fine. Well, then the kind of challenge thing got on to me. So I thought, okay, well, if I can do 12 hours, I'm sure I can do 14 hours. So no eating for 14 hours. And that got kind of boring. So then the 16 to 8 seemed to be what everybody was kind of going on about. So 16 to 8 is where I went. Well, sometimes that worked out really well, and other times I didn't really feel like I wanted to eat. So next thing I know, I kind of pushed it, and I was doing 18 hours and then only eating in a 6-hour window. The drawback with that is that the next day or two, I didn't always feel like I was eating properly. I felt like I wanted to eat a little bit more after that. So I dialed it back and I went back to 18 hours of being able to not eat and then 8 hours of being able to eat. Does that make sense? Nope, I think I got that wrong. Yeah, I think I got that right, my math skills. Anyways, so needless to say, I got myself on a good trajectory of making sure when I ate and had this eating window. I did a couple more fasts, but I definitely didn't go to 36. I did 2 more 24-hour fasts. And again, what I felt like after after the fast is that I felt like I was ravenous again. The other thing I was exploring with was this protein. They kept telling me on all these different things, you need to break your fast with protein. Okay, let me tell you, this does not work for my body. I have been eating roasted vegetables for a long time. I may occasionally throw some beans in with that, but for the most part, I am definitely not a person who wants to start my day with fish. It's kind of stinky and it just doesn't seem right to me. But hey, these experts were saying how well it works, and especially as it correlates with Hashimoto's. So let me just say I lasted 2 days. 2 days of having what's pretty much like sushi without the rice. So I took nori and I wrapped smoked salmon and I ate that for breakfast. Didn't do so well with my digestion. I didn't have my usual bowel movement first thing in the morning. I felt sluggish throughout the day and it just didn't seem right. The next day I did it again. This time I had canned salmon. I also had it with nori, because seaweed's highly recommended for Hashimoto's. So I did that as well. Again, digestion super slow. So I was like, forget this, I can't do it. One of the other things that I explored over the last couple of weeks is how I did when I was eating something like rice and beans throughout the day for energy, and how I was doing when I ate things like chicken. So I went chicken for a day and I went rice and beans for a day. And let me tell you, rice and beans, my digestion was amazing. I felt high in my energy, I slept well, and everything was going great. And usually I don't take grains at my last meal because that affects my sleep. It wasn't affecting my sleep. However, my days of chicken for lunch and dinner, and not gonna lie, one day I actually had a chicken burger for breakfast. It just didn't work for me. My digestion led me constipated for 2 days. Bloated, feeling yuck, and my energy was definitely zapped. I did go for my regular walk, but I even cut it short one day because I just wasn't feeling myself. So what am I trying to do in all this? I'm trying to educate myself, but I'm also trying to share my knowledge with you. So if you're interested in learning more about my journey with intermittent fasting and Hashimoto's, then go ahead and subscribe with Bliss Pilates Studio. I'll be posting more videos about my journey with Hashimoto's and intermittent fasting, but I'll also be posting fitness videos along the way as well. Thanks for watching and tune in next time.